What's going on YouTube? It's Tyler from Mission VR, where it's my mission to bring you guys good quality VR content. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about 5 VR games that have an insane amount of content as of June 2020. Now, there are quite a bit of games that are not on this list just because either A, I haven't played them, or B, I have played them and I just haven't sunk that many hours into them personally. I wanted to talk about the games that I have played the most of and that do have a ton of content out of my games library. That being said, I also stayed away from AAA titles that are non-VR, that have VR adaptations, just because we've all played them and we all know what kind of content levels in that game. I wanted to stay strictly with VR titles. If you guys like this type of content, please drop a like on this video and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be bringing you guys a ton of VR content here on this channel, and I want to keep doing it. Also, if you guys have a game that I did not list in this list, please drop that in the comment section below so I can give that a check out. Without further ado, let's hop on into this video. Alright guys, with the number 5 spot on our list, we've got Sairento, a ninja arcade action-packed shooter with some RPG mechanics. Now, this game is on this list because of the sheer amount of content that's actually in the game. There is a single-player campaign, a mission-based system, and multiplayer in this game, and the single-player campaign does have a decent storyline and some good content there, but really the overall etching features of this game is the mission-based system, where the missions are kind of procedurally generated and what your actual tasks are, and you can up the difficulty scale. Really, it kind of reminds you of almost like a dungeon crawler to some extent, but slightly different layout, and there is some loot in the actual missions themselves. You can get relics to upgrade your actual gear and weapons, and you can upgrade your armor for different various reasons. So there is definitely a lot of replay value, and it does give you the illusion of coming back to keep playing new missions and upgrading your character even further to upgrade your weapons and your gear. Now, the graphics in this game are pretty good, as the game's been out for quite a while, and the development team has been really active in adding a lot of things to the game. I believe the game is now finally starting to come to a close as they are working on a new project, but overall, this game is pretty solid and it does offer a ton of replay value, and it's definitely got a lot of fun factor going for it. The ability to jump across the map and then slide and pull out 2 pistols and shoot a bunch of people in the face is, never going to be a bad time, especially when you're doing it in VR. And this game does capture, with its special movement system, a really unique take on feeling like a complete badass ninja. It's really exciting, and I highly suggest throwing on a dubstep action-packed music mix while playing it on YouTube, and you'll definitely enjoy this game very much. And at the price of $29.99, it's a little bit steep, but honestly, you will more than likely get your content out of this game, and you are going to get some good return on investment for it. Alright, so with the number 4 spot on this list, we have a game that maybe you haven't heard of, VR Dungeon Night. Now, if you love RPGs and you love dungeon crawlers and it's something you've played a ton of outside of VR, you're really going to like this game a lot. It has surprisingly a huge amount of content, from the variety of weapons to the variety of actual classes that you can upgrade to, and all the dungeons are procedurally generated. And the graphics are a little cartoony, but in VR you don't really notice it, and it definitely has some really cool effects, especially when you're fighting really large orcs or golems or whatever you're going to encounter in the dungeons. It truly is a unique experience. Also, there are some really fun puzzles that actually can kill you whenever you get in the dungeon, so a lot of it sometimes requires fast thinking, which is really an enjoyable experience. And that was actually quite the surprise to me whenever I walked into a room and the walls started closing in to push me off into some acid. And unfortunately, I did not beat that particular puzzle because I could not figure out how to, which definitely, again, promotes replay value because the challenge is actually there. This game offers boss fights and magic, and you can actually now get pets also to accommodate with you. The only downside to this game currently is there is not a huge player base, and it's really an enjoyable game to play with somebody else. It definitely adds to the fun factor. There is multiplayer co-op in it, but like I said, finding anybody online is very difficult to do. So if you have a buddy that's really into RPGs, playing this with him is going to be a really enjoyable experience. It's definitely a lot more fun with somebody else, but this game still does offer a ton of replay value on its own, and it's well worth the price that it's offered at on Steam right now. And you should go pick it up, especially if you're an RPG or dungeon crawler fan. Alright guys, with the third pick on this list, we've got 2-Minute Drill Football Evolution. Now, I can't lie, this is a bit of a personal pick because I actually played football my whole life, and I also played quarterback my whole life, so this game definitely does tailor towards me. But if you are a sports fan, you are going to love this game. In particular, if you're a football fan, you really can't go wrong with this game. It's like Madden, but in VR. Yes, not quite as realistic, or I guess as polished as a Madden game would be, but it will definitely quench your thirst for a VR football game. And it's quite unique. You actually have the ability to customize your formations and up to 8 different plays, or whether you want this to be running plays or passing plays, you actually can draw the routes of the receivers. And it is definitely a really enjoyable experience to draw up a play that, the defense just can't cover, and, you keep running it over and over. And as the rounds go up, the difficulty obviously gets harder, and, those plays become tested. The ones that work early on, do they work later on? And you definitely have to have a decent skill factor when throwing the ball. There's a ton of replay value in this game and a ton of customization features. You can customize your home stadium, your home logo, your team colors, the route colors, the home team theme. There's definitely some really unique, interesting little tidbits in this game that you're really going to enjoy. And for the price of $12.99, you really can't go wrong, especially if you're a sports enthusiast, in particular a football guy. This game is definitely going to be for you, and I highly recommend. It's a ton of fun, and you're going to get a ton of replay value out of it. Alright guys, with the number 2 slot on this list, we've got Blade and Sorcery. Now, would any list of games with a lot of replay value be complete without Blade and Sorcery on it? The answer is definitely no, because this game has so much replay value that it really is kind of amazing, and the community mod support has only increased the replay value of this game tenfold, because there are now so many different mods that you can play around with in the sandbox. Physics, melee-driven, magic-driven, VR combat simulator is really what it comes down to. And, the mods extend all the way from maps to weapons to enemies. And, it definitely just, to be able to pick up a Halo assault rifle and mow down a bunch of random demons is a lot of fun. Or the ability to wield a lightsaber in VR that feels like a lightsaber in VR and duel Darth Vader. I mean, that in alone could be a game, and quite frankly, it is a game in other places. So this game offers it, and the physics and the way the lightsabers actually handle are probably better than those other games that have certain lightsaber duels going on for them. But, if you want to go into a battle where you're wielding lightsabers against a bunch of bandits, you can do that. If you want to go into a battle against a bunch of trolls with lightsabers, you can do that. If you want to go into a battle against a bunch of demons with pistols or assault rifles, you can do that. If you want to go traditional and just sword and shield it, you have the ability to do that. This game is just a massive sandbox combat simulator, and there is just a ton of replay value, and I know that the developer is super active. There's a new update coming out for it soon, which is going to update the magic and really allow for custom modded magic spells, which is going to really increase the sorcery side of the game, which has been lacking up until this point. But I know that on the roadmap, he wants to add dungeons and multiplayer at some point to the game. And like I said, that's why this game is on this list. There's just already a ton of replay value. You're going to really enjoy just fighting enemies and performing the coolest kills or the coolest moves with swords that you can. And then on top of that, when they add multiplayer and dungeons to the game, it's just going to increase the replay value tenfold. This game is growing, and really, for the price they're asking for it, it's definitely worth it. And you're going to enjoy every ounce of this game. I highly recommend it, and it definitely deserves to be at number 2 on this list. Alright guys, and with the number 1 spot on this list, I actually have a tie between 2 games because I just couldn't pick one over the other, and that is Pavlov and Onward. Now, each of these games has a special place to me, and each one of them serves a different purpose. Onward is my particular co-op, serious, go-at-it shooter, and then Pavlov is more of a community-based game that I enjoy playing just because the community servers are very active and the custom game modes are a lot of fun. Also, Pavlov has zombies, and I am a huge Call of Duty Zombies fan, always was, and to be able to play some of these Call of Duty Zombies maps in VR has been a very enriching experience, and both the communities in both of these games are very active, and you're going to find people to play with, and the replay value is just going to be a ton and endless here, and I just highly recommend both of these games. If you are looking to own a certain one, just buy both of them at some point, because both of them have so much going for them, and each one of them offers a unique experience, and you just really can't complete your VR shooter library unless you have both of these games going forward. Well guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you like this type of content. As I'm new and I'm growing my channel, it really helps me out, and I definitely want to hear from you guys on what you guys think are some really good games with replay value. Drop those in the comment section below so I can check them out. But that's it for today, and we will see you next time.